Cooper.
It's time for the BA Breakdown here on the KRMG Afternoon News, where we check in live every Tuesday right after 5 o'clock with Broken Arrow City Manager Michael Spurgeon. He joins us right now. Mr. Spurgeon, how are you?
Skyler, I'm doing great. I'm actually in Midwest City today. I will be attending the Oklahoma Mayor's Conference for Mayor Wimpy. As you may know, she had surgery yesterday, and I just want to send a shout-out and some prayers for her from Kathleen and me. So I'll be down here representing her this evening and tomorrow. So I was looking forward to visiting with you.
Well, back here on this side of town, we're watching a little cluster of thunderstorms over BA. Looks like everything will be all right. It's not severe, but when you get home, if you have a few light tree limbs down, don't be surprised. It's storming a little bit.
Okay, I appreciate that.
I wanted to ask you about a couple of things. Let's start with the public safety survey that was posted on the city Facebook page. It talks about asking for feedback on fire trucks, ambulances, warning systems, animal shelters. That's all. I easily understand most of that. What I wanted to ask you to clarify was the Public Safety Training Campus Master Plan. What is that about?
Well, it's an exciting opportunity, and I was hoping that you'd ask me this question. The survey released yesterday, and it will run through the 29th of this month. We've already had 1,000 folks take the survey in just one day, and you're exactly right. There's a whole menu of different options that we want to get the voters, surveyors, as we prepare the bond package. And so the master plan for the training center really is in order to make sure we maximize our folks being able to respond to any type of incident that we face on a daily basis. Training is extremely important. And the master plan for the training center includes making improvements for actually fighting certain types of fires. There are additional classrooms that could be considered. There is possibly firing range improvements, just basically additional opportunities for our folks to train to be able to handle whatever happens in Broken Arrow.
I could be misremembering this, but I was combing through the budget proposal page by page last week, and I think I saw something about, was there anything or is there a plan that you can see where there would be a need for a second police station, like another one of these facilities that's off of Kenosha but somewhere else in town?
I believe eventually that's going to be necessary, honestly, Skyler, and I know that Chief Arnold has mentioned it about a month or so ago. And I'm glad that he's here. He's doing the assessment right now of the department. He's looking at the result of the matrix study in terms of our personnel needs. And so I do believe at some point in the future, and I'm going to wait for his recommendations, there is going to be a need for another location somewhere in the community. And because just how fast we're growing, the population, the officers we need to maintain that high rating of being safe. So I do see that, but I couldn't say when or where until I hear more from Chief Arnold.
Broken Arrow City Manager Michael Spurgeon with us live here on KRMG. Something else that I saw in the budget proposal was talk about the trash trucks. And the only reason I bring this up today is it was my trash day this morning. And I always watch when they come by and get recycling, they have the new side loaders where the arms come down and grab it. And then when they come get the trash, there's still a guy on the back who has to load that up onto the lift itself. But I think I read where the city plans to go completely to the arm lifts, even on the refuse collection. Is that right?
That is correct, Skyler. I mean, it's been a part of this transition since I first got here, from going to where we were putting trash in bags, having a very difficult time having enough workers to be able to complete that task on a timely basis, to where we're actually going to automated with the side loaders. And I'm proud to say that we have all of them in right now. Jerry Schuber, our Director of Solid Waste Recycling, is an expert in this area. This is going to be a more efficient and effective way of being able to dispose of our solid waste and collect a recyclable. So yes, it's been a labor of love the last few years making this transition and making sure that we're trying to keep our costs down. And by doing the side loaders will help us reduce operational costs, which is important when it comes to establishing rates for solid waste disposal.
I don't know if Jerry's mentioned it to you or if maybe you've seen it yourself, but I actually recently got a little card in the mail from the city explaining where the carts go. Now, I tend to follow directions, and so they are in the street, not in my grass. They are a few feet apart, so that arm can get in there and pick it up. But I see a lot of my neighbors just butt them up side by side. Somebody still has to get out and move it for the arm to pick it up. Is that a widespread problem that you know of?
Periodically. And it's just going to require more and more education. When we see that situation, then we try to reach out to folks either first by doing something at large in the community, because if it's happening in one neighborhood, it's probably happening in another, and the importance of separating those carts. But it's just going to be an ongoing education, and every now and then we'll have to send somebody a particular notice if it's creating an issue trying to get around a car, then they're actually too close together. And so Jerry's team does a great job working with Aaron McCulloch, but it's something that is just going to be ongoing until people get used to separating the carts.
I don't want to put any ideas in your head, and if you do this, it didn't come from me, but I bet if you skipped their house a time or two, they'd start doing it right.
Oh my gosh, the amount of problems that would cause! I think I'd rather just pay to give the card, because some folks actually put their trash out. Our people have become so efficient that folks know that their trash gets picked up between 7:48 and 8:02. And if it's any time late, we'll get phone calls because, hey, you're usually here by now, and checking in and so forth. And so we'll just continue to do public education to make sure everybody knows what's going on, because we're still transitioning. There's many additional improvements that we need to make sure that we're actually being as efficient as we can, because the ratepayers are the one they're paying for this. And so I think we have an obligation to have the right type of equipment to pick up trash, and also that we're negotiating good deals for the disposal of that waste, and as well as recycling.
BA City Manager Michael Spurgeon, one last question for you, because, again, I saw it today. I happened to drive into Tulsa from BA on Houston or 81st Street, and I saw quite a bit of progress on the road construction between, I started looking at it right around Olive out to Garnett. Do you have a timeline on that project? Is it on time? When should it be done?
Actually, we're looking at this project being done sometime by the end of this year, no later than probably early next year. We had to close down the road at Olive and the intersection there on Houston because the relocation of a gas line, which actually moved us back a couple of weeks. But I can tell you the amount of work they're getting done, I mean, I couldn't be more excited. I drive that road probably about once a week just to check out the construction. When it's done at the end of this year, two things. Number one, it's going to be great for east-west travel, and I think it's going to be seamless, because then we're going to move right in to doing the east mile from Olive to Aspen, including basically the west side of the intersection there at Aspen that actually is getting a little bit rough. So we're going to hopefully make it a seamless transition to move into that second mile. So we just appreciate everybody's patience, and it'll be done. But then we're going to turn right around and start on the east mile, which is what the voters approved, and we want to deliver on what we said we would do.
Yeah, you're right. That part by Aspen is a little rough. I'm a regular at the Ace Hardware, and it's a bit bumpy in and out of there. So
it is. I hear about it, and I understand it, and I acknowledge it. And basically, we're going to be out there soon to get that taken care of, and I'm just appreciative, especially with the bond package coming up next year. We want to be able to have the ability to say that we've completed or we're under construction over 80% of the projects that voters approved in the 2018 bond package, because when the voters approve it, we want to try to move quickly and efficiently, because, promises made, promises kept. And so this is another example of that. So I appreciate you asking that question.
Broken Arrow City Manager Michael Spurgeon, we are out of time, but we'll talk again 1 week from today.
Thank you, my friend. Take care. Have a good week.